actually go ask this girl. I
Yeah.
actually go and ask the girl, ne?
Mm.
And then she said, I'd say no. And I'm like, why?
Why?
You know, I'm like,
Yeah,
why?
like
Why
why,
not
bro?
me? I'm
Yeah.
like, your family is capable of doing whatever they're capable of doing.
Mm.
You know, they won't be able, if other people are in varsity driving Porsches and when now you have to pull up there riding a taxi.
It's cool.
Ayo, what up, guys? Ke Macaset Makasana. O setang basitwa basitwa ke basitwa basetegang. Welcome to Y2K all the way every day. I get I'm never alone. Of course, get male.
Awes to the audience. Here we got Tyse. Bringing nothing but enticement to Y2K podcast.
Tyse. I
Ty-
thought today we got we're gonna start it off smooth. You know what I'm saying? We're
Yeah.
gonna start it off smooth.
Before we started, my brother, how are you?
My brother, me, I'm fine. I'm
Mm.
happy also. Bantu recently, I'm happy.
About to recently, my brother.
Waiting. Oh,
Yo,
Jesus. Waiting.
Yakuita.
Why do you have to say it like that, dog?
Nsini.
But it's fine, dog. Like
Mm.
bantu recently, nkanona lokonona where
Mm.
I am. Bang pete.
Sulanda to Stritsel.
I'm enticed. Leave it alone, dog. Leave them things
I
alone.
feel.
Um, I wanna ask you a question. If an
Away.
orange equated to opportunities, what do you think you did with it? You know what I'm saying? And what I'm simply asking by this question is, do you think you've maximized on all the opportunities that God has thrown your way?
No, I haven't. Because with some opportunities, I actually missed them. Feel like I could have done way more from
Yeah.
them. So, yeah.
Mm.
What about you, my brother?
For me, I feel like I feel like most of the opportunities that I got in life,
Mm.
I feel like I maximized on them, and that comes from my competitiveness. Yet, I could say I'm not happy on how or the manner of approach in which I took to maximize those opportunities. But I feel like most of them, I definitely came in like running. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, if there was someone, if like there's someone out there watching, wondering, like, how do you spot an opportunity and how do you maximize
On it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a whole different. I feel like this is one thing I always say.
Mm.
I always say opportunities are seen with your mind, not your eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, your eyes can see physical things, but deep down in your spirit, that's where all the good things lie, and that's how you notice a good opportunity. I mean, there's this other guy who wrote a book about like business. He said, if you want to know what kind of business to start, sit with people that are always complaining. If you sit with people that are like complaining a lot every day, you're gonna start noticing what other companies are not doing correctly or what has not been done that you
Then,
can do, and then you
yeah.
maximize on that opportunity. So therefore, you should always pay attention to things like that. Opportunities are everywhere, man. And I always say, if you wanna find something, start by looking. Sometimes you are looking for something, but you're not even searching for it. Like, you're not actively looking. You're just asking yourself, how can I get this? How can I get this? Look for it, and eventually you will find it. You know what I'm saying? So today I wanted us to touch on something that is very common, and I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on this. You know what I'm saying? This is something.
Enlighten us, my
Yeah, man. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on it. I feel like we're gonna talk about peer pressure today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What comes to mind when I say peer pressure, man?
Well, what comes to mind when like we talk about peer pressure? I'd say basically it's just like being in a situation whereby people around you can easily influence your behavior.
Yeah, your choices. Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
That's
feel
basically
what comes to mind to me when you say peer pressure, when I hear peer pressure, is catching a wave, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because something is popular and something is cool and you want to fit in, that's when you start like changing yourself, changing your behavior, changing your choices,
Only to
just
fit in.
only to fit in. You know what I'm saying? So they don't say, "Ah, when I are boring." You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if a lot of us develop a whole no, this is how I'm doing things, we could go further in life. But let's not take it from the top. Let's start. Let's dissect it properly.
Okay,
You know
okay.
what I'm
Away,
saying?
away.
So like what kinds of peer pressure do you think you're familiar with?
Well, obviously, there's the direct kind, whereby
Yeah.
we find people being like, now, now, you should be doing this and that and that and that because of such, you know. That's
Yeah.
direct.
You should
Like,
be wearing a weave. If you don't wear a weave, and you get phone.
yeah,
Yeah, that kind of
yeah,
thing.
that kind
Yeah.
of thing. Then
For
there's the
sure.
indirect kind,
Yeah.
whereby like, okay, with some people, ne, you look at someone else and you're like,
Hey,
damn, okay,
social media.
ish, my
No,
brother,
when you're scrolling there,
my brother.
when I El Patron.
When El Patron, bro,
Dog. You know what I'm saying?
you're
Yeah,
seeing El
man.
Patron tracksuits
Yeah,
now, you're
man.
like,
Yeah.
oh shit,
You're
I
like,
gotta
yeah, I didn't
get
know
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
sometimes it's not even like you actually want it. It's a matter of people are
Everybody
hyping it
has
up.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody
People
has
are
it.
hyping it up. You're seeing it everywhere. You're
Yeah,
like,
everywhere you
damn,
go,
this is
yo,
popular, so I
for
want
sure.
it.
So
Wow.
I also am familiar with a type of peer pressure which is self-inflicted.
Mm.
It's when somebody like says, "I naga batla PS5," and then when you go, when you're alone, you're thinking, "Ay, nami ngay phone, ay,
And I'm seeing a phone.
nami ngay
Oh,
phone, ni phone
yeah.
untanga, nami ngay phone."
Yeah.
And I feel like, hey, it's tough, man. When you, I feel like if your mental fortitude is not strong enough in this generation, you will be lost.
Yeah.
O tlo latlhega. You know what I'm
It be
saying?
like that, bro.
Yeah, man.
Be like
If
that.
you're not, hey, you have to be strong, bruh.
Mm.
Because at the end of the day, like our generation and our time is different. You know what I'm saying,
Mm.
bruh? And it's kind of like sad because to certain people, being young and let me just say black for myself,
Mm-hmm.
it also translates to, let me just say, suffering somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
There's a lot you want, yet you're not sure in what proper channels to follow in order for you to get there.
Mm.
And I feel like a lot of people, like another form of peer pressure, I feel like it also falls, it's not really that like peer pressure, but it's being misled. You know what I'm saying?
How so, my brother?
People pasting a false image. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like you know, this is one thing I noticed. After finishing school, I noticed that, like, I really thought I had it figured it out, but you don't have
Yeah.
anything figured out.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have anything
Yeah.
figured out. Like,
Yeah.
that's when you start seeing the importance of having guidance and parents and mentors and all of
Mm.
that, because you are getting to a part of your life where no, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to do you if you do things because you want. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Nobody can really force you. Nobody, excuse me, nobody can really force you. Nobody can really like bind you into doing
Yeah.
whatever. You choose what you do for
I
yourself.
think it also it comes to a part whereby like now you're considered an adult, you
Yeah.
know, and like it's your first time, bro.
Yeah,
Like
bro, you don't know anything, you know.
yeah, bro.
And that's why I also feel like, also to parents, man, like, don't throw your kids away now because you feel like, I umdala manje
Mm.
akahambi."
Mm.
You know, like, bro, this is one thing my dad told me, is that he feels like he figured out his life later on. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? He didn't have all his ish together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
half the time I feel like after you finish school and you're in a whole different environment, you don't even know what's going on.
Mm.
You're confused. Half the time you're like, what's going on here? Oh, hey, where's my saw? You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
I feel like that way, having a false image and putting pressure upon yourself to have certain things that your peers have, it's kind of crazy, because at the end of the day, we don't come from the same background.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, your family is capable of doing whatever they're capable of doing.
Mm.
You know, they won't be able, you know, if other people are in varsity driving Porsches and when now you have to pull up there riding a taxi,
School pass.
it is what it is,
It is
man.
what it
It
is.
is
As
what it
long as
is.
you're gonna get there, and
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro. Because I feel like with some people, they kind of lose their vision.
For sure. They
Yeah,
lose their vision,
they
like,
lose their vision.
and they lose themselves. The worst thing that could possibly happen to anybody is them losing themselves
Yeah, real.
in the way there, because at the end of the day, like, if you lose yourself, I really just don't think anything
It's gonna go
is
well.
gonna go well, man.
Yeah.
Once you are a person who's like a plastic, when the moya goes that way, you're
You
also
fool,
going
my
that way,
brother.
bro.
Ish.
Like, you find yourself like now doing things to please. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Mm.
So yeah, I
It
feel
would
like
be best though if like you're doing something to please yourself,
yourself,
not
bro.
other
You know what I'm
people,
saying?
bro.
Something that you genuinely just want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't fall. Everybody's doing this. If I don't have it, I am falling
I'm gonna be
behind.
considered lame, boring,
Yeah, ish,
whatnot.
dog. Like,
Yeah,
ish.
bro.
Nah, man. But I feel like there's some things that people start doing, when it comes to peer pressure,
Mm.
and that's conforming. Conforming is like
Mm-hmm.
somebody changing their behavior to
Yeah.
like fit in, and
Yeah.
fitting in this society is one of the most common things
Mm.
ever, because, hey, bro, I've met so many people saying like, um there's this thing, you get comfortable doing one thing so long that nothing else out of that makes you, like, makes sense to you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
An example of that for me, I was in school for so long that whenever I'm not doing anything school related, I feel like I'm out of place,
Yeah.
or I'm
You
doing
feel like
something
it's wrong,
wrong. You know, I was
bro.
like,
Yeah.
why am I not? Oh, Jesus, what?
Mm.
So I really feel like if people can start conforming to whatever they want to conform to, that's when we're gonna start seeing progress
Mm.
within people's lives. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? So a lot of people change themselves, and I've seen them too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And it also depends on the kind of group that you have, man.
Yeah. Because with some peer pressures, bro, I mean, someone can pressure you to do what's best for you.
Yeah,
Someone can pressure you to do something that's like way out of character
for sure.
for you, bro.
And I feel like peer pressure also has this thing of self sabotage, man. Like,
Mm.
you sabotage yourself, man. Like, you're sabotaging yourself. You don't notice
Mm.
that you are actually doing things that are working against you.
Mm.
I mean, let me make an example. Ne? If your goal is to win a championship at the end of the season as a team, ne?
Mm-hmm.
Then what should the team be doing? Training.
Mm-hmm.
They should be
Strategizing.
strategizing.
You know, like,
Learning how to play with each other efficiently.
yeah, team building.
And then you, as that team, are going to play with another team. No, you hang out with another team
Mm.
that really does the opposite of training, which is be
Mm-hmm.
lazy, drink, party
Mm-hmm.
every night. It's really self sabotage in a
Yeah.
sense. It's really self
Yeah.
sabotage in a sense. If you want to gain muscle, why aren't you lifting weights?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I
That's
feel
true,
like
bro.
there's this thing, man. I don't know what it's called, but people start feeling satisfied the minute they talk about something.
How so, my brother?
So let's say you plan, ne? You
Mm.
plan for something.
Oh.
You plan for something, ne?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
Oh,
you
yeah.
say, I'm in a fit about fit to me, I'm gonna own businesses.
Sure.
The minute that you've already spoken about that,
You feel like you've already
in your
accomplished
mind
it.
you feel like you
Yeah.
won. And
Yeah.
that thing is not actually physically,
That's true.
tangibly there. So are you just when I are satisfied? You
Yeah,
know what I'm
that's why
saying?
with people you should really watch what you tell people. You should watch like what
Spirits are
plans,
listening.
bro.
They listening,
Real,
bro.
bro.
For real.
Real.
Like, don't share plans with people till they materialize.
Yeah,
You know what
because
I'm saying?
again, some people they can come back and blast you over that. Be like, "Well, now you said you're gonna own a business. You said
Yeah.
you're gonna have
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
1K subscribers by the end of this year. What happened?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I
You
really
know?
feel like don't tell people plans till they materialize. Keep
Yeah,
quiet.
bro.
There's this saying, I don't like it as much as I'm talkative, Lynn. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like that saying, but a wise man is identified through silence.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And there's this other one that says, a fool knows himself to be a wise man, but a wise man knows himself to
To
be
be
a
a
fool.
fool. Mm.
So you must keep quiet about your plans, bro.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Be
Mm.
the idiot, be outlandish, like just like me, man. I feel like I'm the biggest, like, especially with people that know me. I'm the biggest example of that.
Mm.
I was never a person whom I conformed to societal expectations.
Are we? Are
You know
we?
what I'm saying? I never conformed to, everybody is doing this.
Mm. Let me do
let
this.
me do this also. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? And I feel
Mm.
like with a lot of people that got people feeling a way about me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? They were like, I you know, why isn't he
Mhm. Mhm.
why isn't Pro fighting? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Why isn't Pro joining us? Rona retsa dio tsa rona. He must also fall into the pressure here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that, you know, this is one thing I want to tell people.
Mm.
At the end of the day, né, everybody has something to offer.
Yeah. Real.
And the reason why, and another thing, telling people your plans before they materialize, some people deflate you, bruh.
Mhm. Mhm.
Some people deflate
Because
the hell out of you.
you be talking and go to, okay, I wanna reach 1K subscribers by the end of this year.
They're like, wena.
Somebody can be like, when
Yo, why?
what will happen to the editing?
You know what I'm
What will you
saying?
be doing
Because I feel like also there's people who was like, no, I'm gonna be part of a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You should subscribe and watch. And somebody will be coming and saying something like, what do you have to say? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's another thing, man. Like, don't share whatever you have with everybody. Some
Yeah,
things you
real.
just have to keep to yourself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There are people to tell things like that. Tell people who are going to add on to that.
Nah, real. You know, it's even best that, like, okay, before you were like, I'm gonna start a podcast, it would be best if, like, you shut the podcast after posting, you're like, look, I've started a new podcast.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
That's
It's already started.
yeah.
Everybody knows, you know what I'm
No,
saying?
nobody
Yeah.
can deflate you then,
For
bro.
sure, for sure. And another thing, you know the kind of people that certain people are.
Mm.
You can't be going to a person whom you know, Hore. They're always, and I always say this, I'd rather talk about something than someone.
Mm.
You know what
Mm.
I'm
Mhm.
saying? And somebody's always talking about someone. And now you come here, Kari podcast, saying, yeah, I'm going to start a podcast. They can laugh with you in your face. At the minute you turn and you walk away,
Yeah.
give out. They having you. They're like,
Mhm.
no. You know what I'm saying? Where is it
Mhm.
gonna go? So
Mhm.
it's that kind of thing. Like people shouldn't share their plans till they materialize. And there's a lot of people that are going to deflate you. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people. I always say there's a reason why God showed me the plan, not you.
Yeah, bro.
There's a reason why God showed me, not you. If He showed me and He's like, Kaho, look what you can do. And then me, I pull out there.
You
No,
do.
like I'm telling somebody who has no vision, who didn't see this thing with me, or who doesn't see me.
Mhm.
You know, you must also remember that there's self perception and how people perceive you.
Mhm.
And I really feel like if people perceive you negatively, it
Then
it,
yeah.
it really starts to hurt now
Yeah.
because ish.
I
It,
mean, they won't see anything great happening
in
from you.
you. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, bro?
Yeah,
And
bro.
and, and, and that's the downside about meeting somebody at your lowest. If somebody always remembers you Otloka and now they're in your position and you're higher than them now, it hits
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If somebody gets used to you always clapping for them and now it's their turn to clap for you, some people are just so jealous that they'd never clap for you.
Mhm.
You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So
Be like
I
that.
also feel like how people perceive you, man, like don't take that into actual accounts. Another thing people should stop doing is inventory. Asking somebody, what do you think about me? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I feel like inventory, like it also brings negative, like perceptions.
Okay. I get that. Like, with what you're talking about, ne? Someone can tell you how like they see you, how they
Hmm.
feel about you,
Yeah,
but it shouldn't be how you actually feel about yourself. You
yeah,
don't take that into
exactly.
yourself,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. That's
Because
what I'm trying to say. Say it
with
better.
some people, they may experience different sides of you,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So someone may pull up to me and be like, nah, Tyse, I feel a certain way about you because of one, two, three. People have told me this and that, which doesn't make me like you.
yeah.
So I can't get home and be like, damn. So my attitude towards some kind of people, I don't like it because this person said so. Nah, bro.
I want to broaden a perspective on something
Are we?
that I once asked you. I once asked you, do you think you're a good person?
Are we?
I once asked that, ne?
Are
I
we?
want to let people know something. So imagine this is a person, right? And the liquid
A
inside is
half
your
person.
spirit.
Okay,
Why
excuse
should
me.
it matter that the person is half or it's
Ish.
full?
Okay,
Man,
okay, Tata
how
talk.
dog? But imagine this coke right here is the spirit,
Mm.
And this glass or this cup, let me just say this cup
Are we?
is the body.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, what's important here is the coke.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Are we?
And I feel like a lot of people perceive a lot of people because of the outside. Sometimes you have to see a person's inside.
Inside.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You have
Yeah.
to, because I feel like some people it's crazy. They willingly ignore you and the good person that you are,
Yeah.
and they just base you on your covering. That's why I say,
So they actually judge the book by its cover
for
instead of.
sure, you know what I'm saying? They
Mm.
just see the covering of the person because, bro, at the end of the day, you can be the prettiest woman on earth. If you don't have good intentions,
Ash, it's a problem
it's a
now.
problem, bro. It's a problem because, even with a criteria for me when I'm searching for a partner, it's you have to be a nice person. That's
Mm.
that's number one. You have to
Mm.
be nice to people. You know what I'm saying? You can't treat people based on status. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? You can't treat people based on how much money they have,
Mm.
what clothes they rock. And I feel like another thing that's what pulls into peer pressure.
Mm.
You try to change yourself so much to get external validation.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people whom are lost saying, "Hey, look, man, I wanna nah, like, I want them to also respect me." And some people, like, that's why I feel like sometimes people achieve something called empty success.
Ash.
Like, you achieve something not because of you wanted to achieve it, but you just wanted people to give you that validation.
Mm. Good
You
to
know what I'm
know. I
saying?
achieved this.
I achieved this. Nah, me, I'm pushing. Nah, look what I did. Like,
So
yeah.
some people just want bragging rights.
Some people just like they do that because, yeah, they want people to talk nice things about them.
Mm.
Like, let me tell you something. For me, it's I see a lot of people lost.
Mm.
There's a lot of lost people, man, and I feel like I pray that they find themselves because as much as you're thinking for you right now, someday you'll be responsible for somebody else,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and you need to give that person the tools in order to face life. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
bro.
So, with our generation currently, it's sad that we live like most people in the black community. They tend to think, um they measure success through achievements and money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? They measure like the craziest things, bruh. And I feel like that's what affects a lot of people.
So you feel like they're kind of actually misled in a way to think that your success should be money,
Yeah.
your
If you
achievements
don't
in
have
life.
money or nothing,
Yeah.
actually, to them, you know what I'm saying?
Whereby they should be looking at things like, are you taking care of yourself? Are you happy
Yeah.
with the current
Yeah,
situation you
yeah,
are
yeah.
like?
Because,
Yeah, bro.
I was surprised watching a movie the other day and I saw the parents ask the child, "Are you happy?" I was like, "Yeah, I've never been asked that, bro. Like,
Yo, bro.
at home, they never." And I feel like it's also another thing that pulls into peer pressure. I feel like validation from home, man.
Mm.
I don't wanna lie. I feel like every black child, like, their dream is for their families to know. I mean,
Yeah.
if your family like believes in you like that, they like, yeah, I went on Jawan. Nobody's better than you.
Yeah.
If your family believes that,
That's
I feel like
when.
it does the most for them
Mm.
deep down.
Mm.
They like, as long as my family believes in me, I don't
Mm.
care who doesn't.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And it actually leads them to do well. Because
Yeah.
I feel like so many people give into what other people think about them. Let's say maybe a parent is friends with another parent.
Are we?
The other parent's child is like successful at school, they winning awards day in day out, and the other parent, of course, they're gonna brag. It's their child, they have the right
Are
to do
we?
so,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when, as a parent, you're gonna think about your child who's not getting any, like, awards
Mm-hmm.
at school, who's
Mm-hmm.
not doing any, like, it gets really, really, really sad because now the parent will start putting pressure on their child to
Comparing them to the
to
other
be
one.
like the other one. You know
And
what
I
I'm
feel like
saying?
it shouldn't be like that, bro. Because I mean, you should be actually supporting your child to be like, okay, what are your interests?
Yeah, what are your
Because
interests?
what if the other kid is actually like interested in like
Yeah,
educational stuff like academics,
yeah.
and the other one is like,
Because that deflates the soul. I feel like a lot of us, um we don't find validation at home. so we go look for it outside.
Outside.
And when we don't get it outside, or if the outside gives you the wrong perspective about yourself, you become what the outside says about you.
Mm.
And it becomes tough because, if you look at how things are currently with our generation,
Mm-hmm.
you'll find that a very intelligent person believes that they're dumb, they're good for nothing,
Mm-hmm.
because of they don't win awards like the other kids. They
Okay.
don't get the validation they need from their parents. So they
Mm.
start believing, nah, I can say alone. I'm
Yeah.
just a person, I'm just living. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes very difficult and it becomes very sad because, you know, if you're being put pressure on
Mm.
by your parents, and now you can see vele vele gore o itse keng, there's a lot that has happened to me, and I don't even have the validation of my family.
Mm.
You give in to life, man.
Mm.
Whatever happens to you, you really just get to a point where you don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
just go
So
with the
so I feel
flow.
like that also like falls into peer pressure, and it falls into negative behavior, bro. People
Mm.
start things that are I believe, this is one thing I keep saying. You know, I and I don't like this, but as much as I don't like it, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
I value my enemies rather than I value the people that claim to care about me.
Elaborate on that, my brother. Why?
I feel like with your enemies, they never disappoint on giving you hate
Mm.
and giving you whatever enemies should give you. But when
Mm.
it comes to your loved ones, people who say they got your back,
Mm.
it gets very interesting when you see that somebody's saying, no, I got your back, bro. I got your back. And when it's time for them to have your back,
They in the
they ain't there, bro.
ish.
You know what I'm saying? And it's really hard. Like, and this is how I base my circle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And there's a saying that says God brings everybody into your life for one reason and one reason only. You know what I'm
One.
saying? So
Mm.
you must know what reason everybody is there for. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I wanna ask you a question.
Okay.
Just with a number. With a number, just give me a number of people that you feel like, if if you were $32,000 in debt, how many people do you think would show up for you? Let's say
Mm.
the people around your circle, ne, y'all are
Yeah.
high status people. You earn that money. They can
Mm.
make it, like, you know what I'm saying,
Mm.
and they have it. You know what I'm saying? Let's say they all have that money,
Mm.
and only one can pay. They can't hlanganisa, then they take you out. No, the one specific person
Mm.
has to pay. How many people do you think will show up for you?
Mm.
Ah,
Mm. Ah,
ah.
that's a deep one, my
And
brother.
and, and, and and the minute you ask yourself that question and people don't come in your mind, that's
Mm.
when you start seeing where this each person stands.
Yeah, people do come in my mind. I want that.
People do come in your mind,
Yeah.
right? For sure. Yet this is what I'm saying.
Mm.
I feel like if I had to give you a number of people that come to my mind,
Are we?
it's just one.
Are we?
Just one person
Mm-hmm.
whom I know that they would show up. They would show up. They would take out that money. I'm
Mm.
pretty sure they would. And that's how people don't have parameters. You think everybody, like, you can't think that everybody is your friend.
Mm.
And that's when bad things happen,
Mm.
because once you believe that everybody is your friend and everybody will treat you with the same, the one thing that's said about life that I had to learn the hardest way is that
Mm.
you never get what you put in sometimes.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it be like that most of the time because it's not everyone who has the same heart as you, bro.
Like, bro,
So
like,
you can't expect that, like, what I pour in is what I'll get out.
yeah,
You know?
it's tough, bro,
Yeah.
because when you think of such questions, Ore, how many people would actually pull up for me
Yeah.
if I were to be in such a problem?
Yeah.
It kind of hurts you. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, I feel like a lot of people should ask themselves that question, and that circle of friends that you think are friends will get smaller. There are people that you are sure, no matter this
Mm-hmm.
person will pull up
Mm-hmm.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
take out their last cent. They'll be broke after that. They don't care. They just want me out.
Mm.
And I feel like that's when you start seeing who's really with you and who's really not with you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's why it's very good for people to have conversations with each other to see where they stand with each other.
Yeah, ne?
Have a
Yeah, yeah,
conversation
yeah,
with
yeah.
a person. Ask deep questions, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because if they say God brings a person in your life for one reason and one reason only, ask yourself, what reason has He brought this kind of person for?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what we were actually talking about before
Yeah,
we
bro.
started shooting.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
say that there were so many people I wanted in my life, but when things got tough, they scattered.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
They left,
Have
bro.
have people around you that they can't stay over a week without talking to you, and they're
Mm.
like, I know he's fine wherever he is.
Mm.
Have
Mm.
people that are concerned, bro. You know what I'm saying? Have people that like genuinely care about your well-being.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? People who care about how you actually feel. You know what's going on in that mind of yours. Where's your state of mind? Have you
Mm-hmm.
ate? Have people that genuinely care?
Mm.
Because I feel like in this life that we are living in now
Mm.
as a generation, our friendships lack depth.
Mm.
They lack depth. They lack emotional depth. Friendship has become something so worthless, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hence you say, nah, man, people, me, I don't have friends. Me, I don't have friends. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Mm.
Like,
Mm. Mm.
hence people start saying things like that because they genuinely thought somebody was gonna pull up for them, and that person didn't.
Didn't. Yeah.
So it's really tough. It's really tough.
Yeah, it's tough. You, my
It's
brother. Let me ask you a question
Go
now.
ahead.
What do you think are the positives? Do you think actually there is a positive side to like peer pressure?
Yes, they are positive things
Okay,
about peer
what do you
pressure.
think are the positives?
I feel like the positives about peer pressure. Actually, I don't want to say this the wrong way because
Mm-hmm.
now it's gonna seem like I'm throwing shots. But
Okay.
if somebody's peer pressuring you into bathing, my brother bath. You know what I'm
Keza.
saying?
Okay. Okay.
I feel
Okay.
like
Okay.
sometimes it can leave you with nice habits because, okay, I'll tell you a very interesting story. Um, Back in grade 9, there was a girl I had a crush on,
Mm-hmm.
and then I asked her. I saw this video the day before. It said, "Go to your crush and ask her if I actually asked you out, what would you say?" And I'm like, okay, let me gather
Okay.
the
Okay.
courage. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Let
Okay.
me gather the courage to actually go ask this girl. I
Yeah.
actually go and ask the girl, ne?
Mm.
And then she said, "I'd say no," and I'm like, "Why?"
Why?
You know, I'm like, "Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Like
Why
why,
not
bro?
me?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey," and then she's like, she actually says like, "Bro, it's not even break. Cover your shirt." You know what I'm saying? She says something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Ah, dog,
Okay.
the next day I make sure tuck in the whole day, dog.
You
Tuck in
even
the whole
polish your
day,
shoes,
Baba.
my
I'm
brother.
like, hi, Baba, no, relax. You haven't got there, my brother. Ah, Baba, I'm like, yeah, dog. That day, Fede, it happens that day it happens that I go back and I'm like, nah, I tucked in my shirt. What you took?
What are you
You
talking
know what I'm
about? Yeah.
saying? You know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
saying? And I'm like, nah, I tucked in my shirt. What you
Mm.
say now? She's like, look at your hair, dog.
Ooh.
I'm like, yeah, what does
Ooh.
this girl want from me? You know what I'm
Ish.
saying? I actually go bother my grandfather for money to cut my hair. You know what
You
I'm
cut your
saying?
hair, my brother.
I cut my hair for her, dog. Tuck in, haircut.
Mm.
Dog, I pull up the next day, baba. I'm even changing the way I walk now. You know
Mm.
what I'm
Mm.
saying? It's
Mm. Mm.
ngumdala,
Mm.
no,
Yeah.
ngumdala. And then I pull up to her now and say,
What you saying now?
what about now? What about
Uthini
now?
nangoku?
She's like, you smell like oxygen. I'm like, hey.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you smell like oxygen, dog. I'm like, I smell like
Eh, eh,
oxygen.
eh, eh.
Dog. Obvious at the time, like, I was still a kid, didn't have
Mm.
as much money. Me,
Mhm.
I just pull up to the local store, buy my ex and I put it in my bag because
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
the ones you spray and then, like, after 2 minutes, it's
After
gone.
2 minutes, the fragrance is gone,
It's
my
gone, my
brother.
brother. So I'm like, you
Sure.
know what? Let me take that thing, put it in my bag, bro. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Every time I go to it, it's anya,
Then you go
yeah,
to
dog,
her, my brother.
hey, dog. And then now people are asking themselves, what is Gaho doing with his brain now? You know what I'm
It's
saying?
cool,
Yeah,
yeah.
dog. They're like, hey, signs of people that don't bath, but we're not there. So like,
Mm.
so like, dog, like, I pull up there. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Okay.
going to her like, what about now? She's like, I Gaho, stop trying too hard, bro. I'm not interested in you.
Mm.
But you know what I value about her peer pressure?
Mm.
What I value about that story
Mm.
is that she taught me how to be neat and clean, dog.
Yeah.
You know, she taught me how to be clean. You know what I'm
She
saying?
actually got you to invest in yourself, bro.
Yeah, dog. She was like, "Hey, Baba, buy that don't smell like oxygen." You know what I'm saying? You must know that when I smell like oxygen, it's really tough financially because I
Yeah.
look at those sprays and I'm like, "Hey, mengathola lengs over right." You know what I'm saying,
Yo,
dog?
yo, yo, yo,
Mengathola
yo.
lengs over right. But now I know a man is not supposed to smell like oxygen. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying, dog? Yeah, if you smell like oxygen as a Prada there at home, ay, my Prada. Ko re
Now
rona
you're
re
throwing
tshasa
shots, my
tsetse
brother.
di felang le rona, but at least
Mm.
you know we don't
Something,
smell
yeah, yeah.
foul. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, that's why I'm telling you that I genuinely do believe that sometimes peer pressure can leave you with good habits.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Good habits. But now, like, bruh, there's something also called positive peer pressure. You know what
Away,
I'm
away.
saying? You see in your brother, people are complaining. I once had this story, man. Ish,
Mm.
hey, I hope the person whom I'm talking about doesn't see this, ne?
Ish,
But
ish.
but there was a one time, dog. A joke was made about them that their teeth is yellow, dog. And I saw this as a friend. You know what I'm saying? I saw this as
Sure.
a friend, and I'm like, ish, dog, ish, I'm fine. And he comes back and say, ah, bang choy la ka. They sing I don't brush my teeth. And me, I see this as a friend. I'm like, hey.
Mm.
I'm like, dog, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, maybe on this brother's birthday, I gotta come with Colgate and say happy birthday, Makala, you know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
ish.
Who knows? But like, bruh, like sometimes there are positive peer pressure.
Mm.
Sometimes, man, don't take everything as criticism. Don't take
Mm-hmm.
everything as
Mm-hmm.
hate. Sometimes it's just somebody who sees potential within you,
Yeah.
and they genuinely do believe that
So you just
there's
have
a
to go
lot,
back and
man.
reflect, bro,
Yeah,
and be
go
like,
back to
okay.
yourself and see what angle. Another thing is man of approach, bro. Don't come to your friend, hey, dog out, oop,
Yeah.
nah, man. Don't come like
Ungafiki
that. Like,
ushabo nugumlomo, bro.
yeah, nah,
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
Don't come say that. I smell the kunduane. Ay,
Nah, bro.
don't come
Nah,
and say
bro.
that.
Nah. Yeah.
But like, yeah, man. Like, I really do believe that. Like, there's a lot we have to work on as a generation, bro.
Mm.
I genuinely believe
Yeah,
that
there's a lot, bro.
there's a lot we have to work on as a generation, dog.
Mm.
It's tough. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's tough, yo.
We fighting for this. Uh, we fighting for this thing, dog, to become and that's part of the reason why we even have a podcast,
I
guys. It's
mean,
because
yeah,
we
bro.
see these problems and we're like, hey, dog.
They're
We're
not
like,
talked about really
yeah,
often,
they're not
bro.
talked about,
Yeah, bro.
hey, Lena, don't count me out there.
Ah,
But
oh, 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 oh.
yeah, guys, we've depleted and exhausted our time for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Another successful episode, guys. We're pushing. We're trying our best to make sure that we deliver to you on time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we're trying our best, making sure that yeah, you get that the episode. We're
Yeah.
experiencing problems, but it's about to get better. Expect guests. You know, what I'm saying soon. You know,
Yeah, we're
yeah,
expecting guests.
yeah,
But
a
it's
lot of
gonna get
it's gonna get better. It's gonna get
yeah,
nice. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
like we're trying not to give you the same thing all the time.
Mm-hmm,
We're trying to
mm-hmm.
come with something fresh and vibrant and
Yeah.
something to keep you interested in watching the podcast. But so far, thank you to the loyal supporters, the people who are tuning in every week.
Yeah, from
S-
day one,
Some
bro.
other guys like, hey dog, hey me, I watched everything, bruh. Even the things that are not yours, I watched
Mm.
them. I was like, I got bored. I was like, I think you
Yeah,
know.
it's all
So we
yeah, bro.
appreciate things like that. I love hearing things like that because at the end of the day, this is meaningless if the message is not
Being
delivered,
conveyed,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, if we're not conveying the message to you, then why are we doing this? But guys, I think it's road to 300, ne?
Ah, nah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
250. Is it 250 now? Yeah, road to
yeah.
250,
Let's
guys.
say
And
250,
don't
my
forget the
brother.
200K.
Ah,
We are road to 200K and 250 first. 250 first.
250 first, baby
Then after,
steps, baby
guys, if we
steps.
touch 250, that means 200K, we can do it
Yo,
also. So, guys, let's go, man. Let's go. And some
mm.
people are watching and they're not subscribing. And
Yeah,
I sharp.
don't be a moderator,
I
man.
sharp. Oh.
Don't
Don't come.
invigilate. Come
I
on.
wara berekisa maswela.
Ish.
Aye.
Make
Come
sure
on,
you
man.
like,
Support
comment,
us,
you share,
man.
you subscribe,
Yeah,
bro.
man. Yeah.
We
But
really appreciate the support.
from us, me, Macaset Makasana, and I'm Tyse, the one who brings what?
Enticement to
Swedish.
Y2K.
Are we out, guys?
Always.
For sure.